This is crazy as the Edmonton Oilers finished off 2024 with a win at home with some very interesting lineup decisions from head coach Kris Knoblauch. All that more today on Oilers Digest. Welcome to 2025 here on the channel. Lots of exciting things to come this upcoming year. Hopefully, everybody enjoyed the game last night and the night out. And hopefully, you are enjoying the day so far, whether you're recovering or doing other stuff, or even recovering still from the holidays in the Christmas season. But first, if you have not subscribed to the channel already, make sure you do so. If you're part of the 19% that have subscribed, thank you very much. Hopefully 2025 should be good to each and all of you. But folks, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure you do so, as interesting times are ahead for the Edmonton Oilers. And it was a very interesting time last night with the New Year shuffle. Yes, heading into the game against the Utah Hockey Club last night, Kris Knoblauch decided to make a few interesting changes here from Daniel Nugent-Bowman between the first and second period. You can see there the first period lines. Connor Brown elevated to the first line alongside Zach Hyman and Connor McDavid, and you can see there Ryan Nugent-Hopkins on that third line, setting the third line. But the Yamark, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, and Kasperi Kapanen line wasn't that impressive last night, so Knoblauch decided to switch it up, putting Ryan Nugent-Hopkins back with Connor McDavid in Connor Brown, and sort of elevating Adam Henrique to the third line, elevating Jeff Skinner to the third line, making that Skinner, Henrique, and Zach Hyman line last night. And you know what? That makes the Edmonton Oilers a much deeper and better team, and it led them to the win last night. Yes, 4-1 over Utah. Just looking at the scoring summary here, Mattias Ekholm opens it up 4 minutes in off of a nice pass from Vasily Podkolzin, and Ekholm, the Swedish Viking, as many Oiler fans are saying, with his 6th goal of the season. And shortly thereafter, Jack McBain on a breakaway there beats Stuart Skinner, just barely making it 1-1, but the Edmonton Oilers took it over from there with that newly reformed line with Nugent-Hopkins and McDavid in Connor Brown. That line led to 2 consecutive Oiler goals in 20 seconds there, with the Nugent-Hopkins goal, his first 5-on-5 goal since November 19th of 2024. And then lastly here, Troy Stecher from a very nice feed from Connor Brown. Connor Brown with a 2-assist night with his first star of the game of the season. Lastly here, Leon Draisaitl with his league-leading 27th goal of the season on an empty net from a nice pass from Ty Emberson, who sort of faked out the entire Utah team, thinking he was going to pass it to Victor Arvidsson, but found Leon Draisaitl on a nice cross-ice pass and sealing the game for the Edmonton Oilers. And the Edmonton Oilers, once they made it 2-1, they did not look back. Your shots on goal 38-27 in favor of the team. Of course, the power play kind of sputtered a bit, but Utah on their 2 power plays did not get a single goal. And the Oilers, of course, winning yet again in the face-off dot there. The game within the game when it comes to the Oilers this season. Connor Brown, like I said, 2 assists, got him first star of the game, with Stuart Skinner with a 9.63 on the season, second star of the game, and Mattias Ekholm with a 2.9, a +3, averaging 23 minutes per night, gets him the 3rd star of the game. And just, Connor Brown, how he felt after the game, next to Connor McDavid on that first line there. He says, "I feel back to where I was pre-injury. I feel I was playing pretty limited minutes at those times, but since the trade deadline last year, when he got his first goal against the Washington Capitals, I feel that I've taken a few steps forward offensively, but I'm feeling good. I thought we made some good plays. We hunted the puck. Obviously, it's nice to get some results in a couple that go in, but it's just a lot of fun. Anytime you can get out there with McDavid, he creates a lot of room, so it was enjoyable. And enjoyable it was, as Connor Brown picked up assists on both early second period goals, giving him 10 points in his last 9 games. He now has 16 points this season after getting just 12 points in 71 games last season. So Connor Brown, like he said, he's back to where he was pre-injury, of course, with the Ottawa Senators in the Washington Capitals before he got hurt. And it's nice to see him get rewarded with some first-line minutes. He's been one of the Oilers' most consistent players all year, no matter where he is in the lineup, and he just adds a little more speed to that first line. Just looking here deeper within the analytics there, Connor Brown, it was the Connor Brown show last night, followed by Vasily Podkolzin. When it comes to the expected goal percentage, you can see there a good chunk of the Oiler lineup in that chart. And then Utah, my goodness, what am I thinking here, folks? Utah Again, I didn't really feel threatened at all last night compared to, the Oilers' other games so far. Of course, the Anaheim game, bit of an outlier when they played down to the competition, but they realized, the stakes tonight's back at home in front of their home crowd, closing out the 2024 year, and they did it with ease. Of course, the Money Puck deserves to win-o-meter, 23% compared to Edmonton's 77. Yeah, Edmonton all over the Utah Hockey Club last night. That'll be weird to say before they get a name. And the hockey stat card here, of course, the two Connors running the show, Connor McDavid and Connor Brown. Brett Kulak didn't think had that bad of a game last night, but of course, analytics in the eye test, they don't really go hand in hand sometimes. It's nice to have one or the other, but of course, Brett Kulak and Darnell Nurse, again, didn't really have that bad of a game last night. But, again, analytically, the Oilers all over the Utah Hockey Club. A good chunk of the Oiler roster, over 50% Corsi 4, with Vasily Podkolzin dominating that with a 78.26 Corsi 4 percentage. When it comes to the lines there, that whole second line was the only line that wasn't broken up last night, with Arvidsson, Draisaitl, and Podkolzin bouncing back after a very subpar game against the Anaheim Ducks. And that's something you absolutely love to see. No matter where Connor McDavid and Connor Brown were, their line dominated, whether it was with Ryan Nugent-Hopkins or Zach Hyman. It was again, it was kind of a good decision from Knoblauch to change up that line with Janmark, Nugent-Hopkins in Kapanen, as they didn't really do a whole lot in their limited time together last night. I think Kapanen had a very not one of his strongest games so far as an Oil. Even Jeff Skinner. I mean, Jeff Skinner with Adam Henrique and Zach Hyman, or with Perry and Henrique, he is on the up and up after getting scratched against the Anaheim Ducks on Sunday. That's a very good, omen when it comes to Jeff Skinner, just gaining that confidence back if he, ever gets top 6 minutes again so far. And of course, Connor Brown, when it comes to the Knoblauch, decisions when it comes to the lineup, he says he really does things with a purpose. I don't think he's throwing darts at a wall. Any types of decisions he made are pretty calculated. He's a pretty smart coach. Also, we got a lot of good players in here, so you can jumble it around and get some results a couple different ways. But of course, the team as a whole, with the article here from Zach Lang of Oilers Nation, the team as a whole still has significant issues scoring goals when you do not see McDavid and Draisaitl on the ice. And the third line of Jeff Skinner, Henrique, and Hyman could help rectify that, which, it's a pretty solid line. So to speak, you have Henrique up the middle, a two-way center who is not far removed from being a top 6 player in Anaheim, who scored 40 goals and 80 points in his final 122 games with the Ducks. Of course, the Ducks at that time, not a very strong team. Of course, Skinner, with 59 goals and 128 points in his final 153 games over 2 years in Buffalo, alongside Hyman, who we all know can be a dominant force on the ice. And of course, when you have those top two lines with the Oilers, that third line could make them a lot deeper team, a much better team, deeper team, and that's even without Evander Kane getting back in the lineup. And we still have no definite timeline on Evander Kane. It could be either somewhere between February to early March, but that remains yet to be seen. But what can be seen here is Stuart Skinner, again, another solid game from him, a 963 tonight, or yesterday, against the Utah Hockey Club. And he put up a 913 throughout the month of December, analytically one of his best months between the pipes. So, of course, that checks out. And, folks, if this is an omen, I don't know what is. The Oilers currently a 97.29 percentage to make the playoffs. I mean, the numbers... they just, you can't go wrong with that, with, a 7.4 percentage to win the cup, and hopefully 74 can remain much more consistent heading into the playoffs, and even into the playoffs and deeper within. But again, a very confident, concise win for the Edmonton Oilers last night against Utah. Hopefully we see that carry on into the new year against the Anaheim Ducks, and that is their next game tomorrow, Friday night, January 3rd, on Sportsnet against the Anaheim Ducks. Of course, the team that we just saw on Sunday at 8 o'clock Central, 7 o'clock Mountain. And also at that same time will be the World Juniors quarterfinal matchup between Canada and Czechia. And hopefully we see a little more of Bo Akey in that one, as we did not see him at all pretty much last night, a minute 25 in the first period, with only a 43-second shift or time on ice in the second, for a total of 2 minutes in 8 seconds. Of course, the Team Canada very undisciplined, so they were on the penalty kill for a good chunk of the night. But even then, it does not seem promising for Bo Akin. Even on the American side, we did not see Paul Fisher, as both have been, pretty much extra 7 defensemen for their respective clubs. But Team Canada, I got a lot of things to say about that. I'm sure later on in the tournament, you will hear my final thoughts on that. Coaching, subpar. They're a team, built to, play a full season, not a 2-week tournament. They are trying to, force circles into squares. But that is it for today's video. Make sure you enjoy the new year, folks, and we will be back with a Ducks Oilers preview at some point this week. Make sure to subscribe here to the video, and let me know down in the comments what you thought about Kris Knoblauch sort of tinkering with the lines last night. All right, take care. Have a great start to 2025, folks. I'm Matt.